And welcome back to our continued coverage of the DeviceWise Global Summit right here in Miami, Florida. We're happy to welcome a member from ILS Technology and also from a company called PacSense. And we'll get into a brief description of who they are. David, I want to welcome you to the program from ILS Technology, and Kaz Lawler, welcome to the program as well. I did mention in the intro that we get a brief overview of who PacSense is. Can you go ahead and give that to us?
Sure, and we are a temperature monitoring company. We manufacture temperature monitoring labels for use in the pharmaceutical and food supply chains, the cold chain monitoring from supplier through DC and store.
Now I know there's a relationship here between ILS Technology and PacSense. I also know that time to market and return on investment is key for both of you. How do those two principles fit into your relationship? And David, I'll start with you.
Simply, DeviceWise allows you to reach a time to market a lot quicker because all the componentry is built in. You basically fill in the dots and you don't have to do a lot of custom code anymore. We have ready available connectors to downstream devices and enterprise things. So time to market is realized because you don't have to code or custom code anything. Just connect the dots and that's it. Very simple.
You mentioned in our pre-discussion, it's not just DeviceWise as the solution, but it's DeviceWise plus the partner ecosystem. David, again, I'll start with you. What do you mean by that? And Kaz, if you can follow up, please.
Yeah, the ecosystem meaning the software componentry, and we have partners, hardware partners. For example, Option provided a piece of hardware in conjunction with their hardware, some special RF chip that went inside the Option gateway with DeviceWise inside, enable this end-to-end transaction a lot quicker. So the ecosystem is not just the platform, but also the hardware componentry with our partner, Option in this case.
Yeah, very true. We have a lot of customers who use our RF label, and one of the things we were seeking is to make their lives easier by automating a lot of their processes, receiving and quality. And we had come up to look into the M2M world as to where we could find the tools that we could use to expedite our time to market. It's something that the market needed and has been calling for, so we wanted to get there as soon as possible. We had the constraint that we have our proprietary protocol, so we needed an M2M solution that would be flexible and extensible, allow us to insert our own, not only our own hardware, but also our own little code segment, and that's where Option as hardware and ILS DeviceWise as software and firmware and backend really brought everything together to make it happen, including Telit, who has provided us with our backend communications over the cellular carriers.
Now, as we all know, we're here for the DeviceWise Global Summit. And one of the very first things that the Chief Executive Officer of ILS Technology, now a Telit company, said in his presentation was, we're all here to make money, to save money, and to stay out of jail. Does the stay out of jail part apply to both of you?
I'll go with that one.
I think so.
Yes. One of the things that happens with our customers is not only do they have their own quality programs that they have to maintain, but there's also federal requirements in case of issue and recalls. And coming down the road is FSMA. It is a federal mandated program that requires our customers and everybody else in the food supply chain to monitor the quality of their cold chain and to prove that the product is kept in a correct temperature.
Kaz, it's actually a very interesting vertical that you talked about. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask you about that. Can you take us down a little further down that path as far as that vertical that you're focusing on?
So we're focusing predominantly right now in the food market vertical. All of our customers and the food we get, it goes from the supplier to a distribution center or a DC. And every one of our customers has a quality program that they need to maintain. And every one of our customers, like all the rest of us, have to start doing more with less, and that's why we do the automation. Now, right in the DC, food comes in a flurry, it moves quickly, goes into refrigeration, again from a cold dock to the proper, a more proper refrigeration. And it happens very quickly, and we have to make sure, we have to be of service to our customer, and the way to do that is help them maintain their processes to their highest quality possible.
David, you talked about moving away from custom coding, and it made me think about maybe Kaz focuses on a particular vertical, but he has to make sure that the platform is horizontal. What do you think that means?
Horizontal means that you could apply to many verticals. In the case of food is a good example. There is also the telematics vertical. There's the industrial vertical. There's many verticals, and the platform is agnostic enough that you could deploy rather quickly in any industry, basically. So it's not tied to a particular industry. This one happens to be food, the food industry, which is, I am sure, very regulated, and that's the stay in compliance.
Stay in compliance.
And they all do.
We also work in life sciences, and we're rolling out the program there and internationally. That's the other reason for choosing Option and Telit and ILS. We had to focus and concentrate on our expertise, which is talking to our labels, and using ILS and Option, we were able to depend upon our DeviceWise to carry that data seamlessly. It's remarkable, all the way back to our backend database, where we again pick it up and do our processing to send out the information to our customers. So it is not just a US horizontal table, it is a cross-platform, cross-country capability that we're using from ILS.
Well, you both talked about return on investment and time to market being very important, also an agnostic platform. So thank you for bringing that to our viewers' attention. We know that everyone's trying to get back down to a reception, so we're going to let you guys go, but we appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you for having us.